join me here for a very fun podcast this morning. Actually, today is going to be a much more chill style podcast, and what I mean by that is today it's kind of like combo style action combat like Devil May Cry, but it's rhythm based, and it's got a quirky atmosphere, an interesting art design, and really good music. This game is going to be absolutely a high-end choose your own adventure style Gollum game, and then the game came out and it's literally dog shit. Okay, people were completely split. Half the people who were there were like, nah, you know, we get it. It kind of looks like a throwback to Dreamcast or early, PS2 era style game, although definitely it's more modern with its polish. It's got voice acting. It's interesting in that regard, but it doesn't seem like anything too complex or to write home about, which I understand. Street Fighter 6 will be a focus on this channel for a bit, and then we'll go back to the usual, okay, variety style stuff. But for a few days, definitely it will be the huge focus of DSP Gaming. That's supposed to be some kind of a zombie apocalypse style survival game. Any of those Square Enix style RPGs from back in the day are very valuable. Is there a brick oven style pizza place? No, there's not. The best we have here is Woodfire. Is essentially saying even we don't see the future of an all multiplayer style game like this, and we want to go back to making narrative based games. So, okay, yeah, it's themed by pressing buttons to the rhythm. All right, big deal, right? It's not that big of a deal. It's kind of like another Devil May Cry style game, of which I've played a ton. Because if I play Diablo 4, there's just no way I can continue to play Zelda. There's too much RPG, too much time-consuming style content. I'm not going to be able to juggle that and Street Fighter. It's not possible. You understand? So, dungeon. And once you beat that, there's only one more left, and then you're basically in the end game, although this game does have some really fun late game, kind of optional super boss style content, which we may or may not do. But tomorrow night should be another 2 chill hours. 551, that wasn't bad. Damn, what was that? Like a Two-Fist style. You'd get together with family and friends, and you would do things like cookouts, drinking, partying. Yes, I know that sounds silly, but usually it's an outdoorsy style activity. Retro games, which is exciting because I almost never play these kind of really old style games. So it's something different to do in an environment that, is isolated for that. And I'd like to keep that set up for the whole month, being that a major focus of the month will be Street Fighter. So essentially June will be a Street Fighter Mania style event, which is cool. If you like Street Fighter, you're in the right place, you see. Combat is inspired by God of War 2018. Again, if you watch the gameplay footage, yes, it does kind of look like a God of War style combat system with different various combos and weapons and things. Top down, point click, lots of repetitive style gameplay. Interesting. It is interesting. Apparently the story's, kind of interesting, but at the same time, like a more action-based game, you can. That's probably a good thing. Because what if you do, people who like that, you want it to appeal to a wider audience at the same time if they retain RPG style gameplay. Like, what if Magic is way more RPG-esque, right? Rant about all of them, insulting them constantly. How about that, right? And by the way, I'll be boxing all of them in a Battle Royale style match in a month or two. We'll fly out to London instead of Las Vegas. We'll fly to London for some unbegotten reason. Do you love this music? We can't just have, like military style music like the old Call of Duty used to have. Playing Diablo. What I would say is Diablo seems like it's going to be an addictive game for someone who wants a time sync style game that's going to be addictive and fun. And, you like looting and you like, competitive combat loops. That's really what it's going to be. Whether it's an RPG, and that could be a Western or a Japanese style RPG, an action-based game, a puzzle platformer. We bought a few things this week, some things coming up. I know one day we're doing an Italian style baked dish. Of course I'm going to play Mortal Kombat 12. Why wouldn't I? I always play the newest fighting games. You guys know that. The only ones I don't play are the anime style fighters. Or any mainstream game like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or Injustice, or Tekken, or anything like that I'm going to play. I really do. Oh, apparently I'm being told by My Ruin, the Stranger Things game that I played several years ago, the retro style game, is actually one of the games made by Netflix. It is? Doing this annually if you like this Super Bowl event, or maybe you hate it, maybe it sucks ass. You're like, well, then we don't ever have to do it again. But that's our Saturday. It's going to be a fun marathon style day. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we've learned our lesson, and that'll be it for these RTS style games or whatever. I just won't play them ever again. But one of the most awesome, innovative, fun, turn-based games like that ever, with the strategy style RPG combat, and having the Marvel character. But then they came out with Street Fighter 3, and that one was way more advanced of a gameplay engine, as well as the graphics had like way more frames of animation and was more of a really artistic hand-drawn style rather than a manga anime style. That was its own series. This is the game company that typically designs this style of strategy-based, turn-based RPG style game. Okay? There is a game called Lies of P coming out. It is a... the hell? It is a Soulsborne style game not made by FromSoft, but it's supposed to be characters from Pinocchio. Of all games, or of all themes, Pinocchio. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. God of War Ragnarok. Hell, you even released it as the second style of the same kind of game. Mario plus Rabbids came out a couple weeks before you. So we're going to have those, but then we also bought restaurant-style tortilla chips with a side of fresh salsa, the one that's refrigerated in your grocer's freezer, as opposed to, excuse me, your grocer's refrigerator, as opposed to the one that's like, you know, Tostitos that you fucking stays infinitely and tastes like shit. On a smaller boat, I forget what they call them, not a speedboat, but like a smaller style boat, not a rowboat, but one that was engine powered, but it's bigger than a speedboat. You know what I mean? I can't remember what it was called. Shit. I think that's great, and it's got replayability. It's got unlockable content at the end. It's a good outing for Tango Gameworks, who previous to this only made 2 horror-style games. It's kind of different, and it's a good piece of variety for them. I'm happy they did something different, quite frankly. Saber. Oh, a new style, dual saber style, yeah. Okay. It'd be pretty fun to see those old ads. It's quite fun to react to those. And then number 3, I'll be doing a 30-man over-the-top battle royale, a fantasy-style match in WWE 2K22. The meaningful stuff. Like, what's the point? Like, the whole point of the game is it's supposed to be like an Elden Ring-style game where you can explore all this optional content. You can do all this stuff, right? So, yeah. It's like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure style ending. We had one food vlog, only one. We had some historical documentary style stuff. We had some comedy skits. We had some epic fails. We had, goldfishes. I've seen YouTubers make chicken feet and it looks like it's good, surprisingly. Would I try veganism? I'm not against trying vegetarian style food. We're going to talk about that later tonight. We're going to determine what we're ordering. We don't even know yet. We don't know where we're ordering because basically where we live, there's no authentic East Coast style pizza, which is the one that we love. Now, why'd they do that? Because they wanted variety. He's a grappler. They want him to look like he's a more authentic, like he's a real pro wrestler style fighter. It makes sense that a Greco-Roman wrestler should have a bunch of throws in his repertoire. It's really good. It's big pieces, loaded with toppings, very delicious. There's another place that does pan style pizza that's actually really quite good as well. Years and years ago, and even then when I was doing them, it was usually like an 8-bit style game that we were playing. You know what I mean? I haven't played a 3D style game on my PC in so many years, so I really haven't used this graphics card at all in a very long time. Early on, the Red Mage is useful, but later on, not so much. And then we've got Berserker. Very, very powerful melee style warrior. What's going on? It was because it makes the guy more money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. These are interesting dilemma style questions because we never, as a human race, I don't think we've ever had that ability before. Do I prefer the more open level design or linear like Dark Souls 3? They both work, but the thing is, I feel like the best parts of this game are the legacy dungeon style things, right?
Welcome aboard, sir. It'll be an honor.
Wow, it's got a nice sliding door, almost like a Japanese style house. And I was like, I can understand why you guys like this game franchise. It makes sense. They took, you know, classic Metroid and made it a really good first-person shooter style game. You know, status or leveling down style ability. So I bet that's one that you can learn. Or she. Level that avoided ban evasion. As long as he didn't do the continued bullying style content, he was able to continue to make content on that third channel, like months and months between. Last time we had it was when we ordered it on stream. What was it, last month? And it was that I told you there's a like pub style pizza. It's called BJ's. It's a deep dish style like pan pizza. That was really good. Before then, it was like a month or two before then, and that was when we did the Rock wood fire pizza. And then before then, I couldn't even tell you. So it's months between. Very rare. This unique flair. They had good music. They had like the announcers were over the top. They weren't meant to be serious. You know, they weren't supposed to be serious sim games. They were essentially arcade-style fun games. Pop a few quarters in. Other thing is React-style content that's long-form, meaning me reacting to, say, a giant documentary. You know, that could be anywhere from 30 minutes to several hours long. I did many of these last year. You guys love them. And so that's going to be like a once-a-month style project where I'll maybe take an entire day of streaming and do a react to one of those big things. That's just going to be called DSP Reacts. Save up. What's for dinner? I think today we're having Japanese-style beef bowls for the first time in a very long time. And then on the first stream, it was the continuation of Silent Hill 3. We had beaten the subway part, which actually is, in my opinion, the worst part of the game. We head into the sewers. Then we head into this office/store-style building. It's like basically like a multi-floor office or tower building. So, if you like DSP Gaming, if you like the channel, if you want to see this very special style event happen, then please consider becoming a member, renewing your membership, or gifting a membership today. Urumi, a whip-style weapon. Your browser plugin. I don't even know what hardware acceleration would do for a browser animation, but those animations that you see for pop-ups, those are browser-style animations. They're played right through a web browser implemented into OBS. At a mall. My local mall has one bakery, and it is a ethnic-style bakery. It's like, I forget what kind it is. It was all piece of cake, and she had it. And she's like, I absolutely loved it. It tasted amazing. But guess what happened to her? She got stomach pains just like me. And she had to take Alka-Seltzer and all kinds of shit because her stomach was destroyed too. So come to find out, one of two things happened. It means one of the ingredients was bad, which we don't know what it was, or the recipe she used wasn't a good recipe. Apparently the recipe she used was a southern-style carrot cake that tastes really good, but it has a lot of cooking oil in it, like way more cooking oil than you would usually put in a regular cake. And we're thinking maybe that kills our stomachs. Game. And it's good though. It's good in that regard. It's kind of like the ultimate JRPG style classic game. Multiplayer, in which case I don't need to play it with someone. You know, no need for a party, just play it online. I don't care about cooperative style games. A disassembled piece of sushi. And it's super good. Especially if you have like really good protein. Like I had a Hawaiian style tuna in mine. Would you play any of them, right? That's what I mean. There's so many. What it is now there's an insane plethora of indie-style games that come out at all times now. No music? Probably not music. Yeah, if it's anything that's going to be licensed music, music video style, movie trailer style, TV show clip, probably not allowed. All that stuff's going to end up getting blocked on YouTube.